we're looking forward to with great anticipation because of the significance of this game. Two fantastic football teams and all that's on the line, all the stakes, and they're understood because sports are important. And then suddenly they're not at all. The game starts with a Cincinnati touchdown. Buffalo gets a field goal, and then as Cincinnati is driving with the football for the second time, Damar Hamlin, a second-year safety out of Pittsburgh, tackles T. Higgins, and he collapsed back to the turf, and the reaction of the players on the field was all you needed to see. And immediately, there was a television feed that we have access to that's the same feed as the Monday Night Football crew has. And as I noticed the urgency with which the medical personnel were moving, it was very concerning because it was clear from their reaction that this situation was dire and that Hamlin was in distress. And as you see, those are hard to look at, man. Stefon Diggs in tears as he sees his teammate on the field being tended to. And as reports have been given throughout this hour and change since this injury, CPR administered on the field, as Joe Buck just recently has shared with us. Hamlin is in critical condition. You see the prayers, and we join them in lifting up this young man's name in prayer in the hopes that hopefully there's better news to come here very, very soon. Ryan Clark is with us. And Ryan, this is as heavy as it gets. Yeah. This was a night we look forward to. And now here we sit. And I just ask, as a member of this brotherhood, as a guy who dealt with his own health issues and scares, what words can we even put to this? What would you share?
I think the first thing, this is about Damar Hamlin. And it's about a young man at 24 years old that was living his dream, that a few hours ago was getting ready to play the biggest game of his NFL career, and there's probably nowhere else in the world he wanted to be. And now he fights for his life. And when Damar Hamlin falls to the turf, and when you see the medical staff rush to the field and both teams are on the field, you realize this isn't normal. You realize this isn't just football. And so many times in this game, and in our job as well, we use the cliches, you know. I'm ready to die for this. I'm willing to give my life for this. It's time to go to war. And I think sometimes we use those things so much, we forget that part of living this dream is putting your life at risk. And tonight, you know, we got to see a side of football that is extremely ugly, a side of football that no one ever wants to see or never wants to admit exists. When you see both teams on the field crying in that way, your first thought is Damar Hamlin. Yep. The second thought is his family. And this isn't about a football player, right? This is about a human. This is about a brother. This is about a son. This is about a friend. This is about someone who is loved by so many that you have to watch go through this. I dealt with this before, and I watched my teammates for days come to my hospital bed and just cry. I had them call me and tell me that they didn't think I was going to make it, and now this team has to deal with that, and they have no answers. And so the next time I think that we get upset at our favorite fantasy player, or we're upset that the guy on our team doesn't make the play, and we're saying he's worthless, and we're saying you get to make all this money, we should remember that these men are putting their lives on the line to live their dream. And tonight, Damar Hamlin's dream became a nightmare for not only himself, but his family and his entire team.
And there is a tendency and in the world, in the space that we occupy, where everyone wants to know everything immediately, and I understand it because we're all part of it. You want to know, and you want to share what you know. And I think that the search for the answers at the moment is ongoing. And so all we can deal with at 10:14 Eastern Time is what we know. And we know that Damar Hamlin fell to the ground. They suspended the game. He was taken by hospital at 9:25 Eastern Time to the University of Cincinnati's medical center. And that's what we know at this moment. And I welcome in Lisa Salters now, who has been covering as best as she or anyone could the events at the stadium as these determinations were made that this game would be suspended. And Lisa, we've all been lucky, right, to do this, to make this our life, to do something we love, to cover games that mean so much. I can't recall an evening quite like this, and I just wonder, first, as a human being whose job it is to document these games, how you would describe what this last hour and a half has been like.
It's hard because, like you guys have said, this is a human being, and all you can really think about is, you know, I hope that guy is okay. We've seen players go down with head injuries before, and as horrible as that may sound, we've grown accustomed to it, seeing guys take hard hits, see them stay down for a little while, get back up, give the thumbs up, and that's all we were all hoping for, was that Damar Hamlin was going to get up and that he was going to get on in that ambulance, he was going to give us a thumbs up, and we were all going to know that he was okay. And when that didn't happen, I think this entire stadium was just devastated. I mean, right now, all I can really think about is that player, his teammates, just seeing the agony on their faces, the concern on their faces. They're scared for him right now, and they should be. We all should be. But to see them hugging each other, down on their knees, praying for him, his coach, the other team, their head coach, those players, just to see how much unity and just unified concern that they all had for this young man. It's been overwhelming. There's a pall over the stadium right now. Like you said, Scott, you come to work, we're expecting to see the game of the season, and what we got was so terrible, but that doesn't really matter. All that really matters is Damar Hamlin and his family, and we just can't say it enough that we hope that he's okay.
Agreed, as you said, and I echoed the thoughts in the start. All you can do is lift him up in prayer, and we continue to do so. As I said a moment ago, Lisa,
where he is in critical condition. Our thoughts are with Damar and the Buffalo Bills. We will provide more information as it becomes available. The NFL has been in constant communication with the NFL Players Association, which is in agreement with postponing this game. Public address announcer just did make that announcement and that statement to the crowd, and these fans that have been packed in and loud since well before this game just filing out and doing so in an orderly fashion. This has been a very patient crowd here in Cincinnati. I'm sure with some not knowing the extent of what happened down on that field, but the big piece of that statement is that Damar Hamlin is in a local hospital where he is in critical condition. And that's the update that we have for you about 1 hour and 10 minutes since he collapsed on the field. We're going to keep it here for a couple of minutes, and then we will go back and in this case hand it over to Scott Van Pelt. What we have seen here is just it's really hard to put words to it.
No, you can't, and everybody obviously is trying, and the only concern, of course, is Damar Hamlin, and you said it. I think that what this looks like going forward as far as this game and when it might be played is anybody's guess.
John?
I'm just, as a parent, thinking about the mom. She comes to the stadium to watch her son play, and now he's in critical care. As you mentioned, Troy's mentioned. Man, there are no words.
A 24-year-old that collapsed on the field after making a tackle, got up, and then immediately went back down. And he left this stadium by ambulance at 9:25 Eastern. And again, he is at UC Medical Center. And if we get anything before we go off the air, we will pass it on. But our time is running out here tonight on this Monday night. And as we go forward, we will just hope and pray that the news is better and better about Damar Hamlin. But at this point,